Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Welcome to Change the Lives, hosted by your true Deontay Burden, also Mr. Short Dollar, hosted by the same person, Deontay Burden. Got to pour a little bit more of this monkey shoulder up in here.
Oh.
Single malt.
Right.
We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Hey, how you doing? We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Tonight we'll be discussing finance relationships. So that's why we got both of my YouTube channel, Change the Lives, and also Mr. Short Dollar combined together, because this is one of them subjects that we're going to be kind of like intertwining. So I wanted to bring in all my audience and all my followers from both channels together, you know. But before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producers, DJ Lab.
We made it to Thursday, bro.
Man, absolutely.
Braves win, right?
Hey, woo! I'm gonna get to it.
Right. I know you're gonna get to it, but I didn't want to throw it out.
Damn, boy.
I'm not even from Atlanta, so.
Hey, man.
And I don't even watch sports, so that's like a double whammy, right?
Man. Damn, man. What, you a Cubs fan? Or White Sox? Neither one. Damn, boy, that was good, man.
You drink the monkey shoulder. I'm drinking Kettle One orange juice.
DJ Lag got Kettle One orange juice.
Grown man shit.
We might be halfway the show, so we hit a mix.
We might be scratching in party by the middle of the show.
Cause my brother don't do libations. So
I'm trying to grow up. I'm trying to be like you, Pooch. I'm trying to be grown.
My man. But also, what's up to mother producer Slick 316? She's man the keys, you know, remotely.
Bedside producer.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
And man, super excited about today's show. You know, at the beginning of the show, we rehashed the previous week. Guys, again, we are still in the pandemic. Wash hands, practice social distance, all the stuff you learned in daycare, and be safe. Second thing is the tax course will probably be released by the middle of next week. Been working hard on it. So I'm super excited about giving that to you guys. It's hard, but I think I'm making it a lot harder than it need to be.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? So, but it's coming along. Also want to let everybody know we did surpass 19,000 subscribers on Mr. Short Dollar.
That's right.
And the goal still is 20,000 before the year out.
I think you're going to make it,
Hey,
bro.
man.
Because think about this. You was at 18,500 last week. You done got 500 more in a week. If you get 500 more every week,
hey,
done.
And we started the year off with what, 3?
Yeah.
3,000.
3,000.
Hey, man, we put in work, boy. I appreciate everybody. Also, to change the lives, I want to get at least 3,500, you know, before the end of this month. That was my first channel. We've learned a lot and everything. We just hadn't hit that bump, but I know with the new information, me and Lab will talk about after this show, well, I'm going to kind of pivot, change the lives to, I think we're going to be on the right track with that. So I'm super excited about that.
That's right.
But please, if you're not subscribe to either one of YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar or Change Your Life, please make sure you subscribe to both of them. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Did I forget anything?
Nope.
No. Okay. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. We got an awesome show tonight. We're talking about finance and relationships, man. And I'm if you have any questions or comments about it, feel free to chime in.
I think they should comment. Yeah, they be so scared to comment.
Yeah,
they always want to get to you after the show. They want to watch the show live tomorrow. They always want to get to you tomorrow.
Well,
they want to see them live comments come across the screen.
I think it's too far. I think they be want to ask stuff that ain't got to do with the show. Now, we'll tell everybody, if you got any questions about grants or loans or financing, at the end of this show, at the end of any show that I do, I will tell you, we'll open the floor up and I will answer any question. I don't give a damn if it's SBA loans, lines of credit, grants, or whatever. I answer any question you have at the end of the show. But if it's not really pertaining to the subject we're talking about tonight, we're going to skip over it. But any question that you have, if you can wait to the end of the show, I promise you that will answer any one of your questions, okay? Again, tonight we'll stream live on Change the Lives. Well, that's my motivational channel where we talk about personal development, professional development, motivation, parenting, and family. And also my finance channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Again, we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So please make sure you subscribe to both platforms. Both channels have over 300 videos.
That's
on
right.
the channel. Yeah, your boy stay busy.
I know you stay making videos.
I stay making videos. Running my damn mouth. For what that's worth.
We watch. Some people watch on Roku Live too.
Okay, I forgot
about the Roku stream.
I apologize. I'm part of Misfits Media, Misfits Radio family, Misfits TV family. We also stream live on Roku TV. You can see me in 4K.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let me get the the visitors the comments off real quick. Sunshine she says good evening, beautiful people.
All right, what's happening now? What's happening?
What's up?
Appreciate that, Sunshine. But anyway, whatever platform you're on, please feel free to leave your feedback and comments. Because today, when I was doing a promo video on TikTok, I threw a monkey wrench at them.
Okay.
Right. And I'll be looking at brothers, and this is a show actually we did 2 years ago. It's because I look at them platforms. You got a lot of men coming in now. They talking about what women bring to the table, and women talking about what the man brings to the damn table. And shit, they say after a while nobody want to sit at the damn table. You'll be standing up around this motherfucker.
Who brought the table?
I don't know. But what I asked on the TikTok today, and what I spread on all the platforms was, scenario is, just say you got a man, he's a sales manager.
Right.
He's making $150,000. Proud brother, doing well.
Right.
Looking good, doing well, and everything. Good income, $150K.
Okay.
But he got his wife. Been with her 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in the game just as long.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a corporate executive.
Mm-hmm.
She's making $1.5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Who's wearing the pants in the family? Because he knows shoe sharing, boy.
That's a good question.
She's a boss mama.
Well,
and see, you see what happens is a lot of times people kind of look at certain barometers in regards to, okay, they make this, they make that, but just say this brother's doing well,
right?
But she's doing, he
above average.
He above average,
right?
Yeah, you've had above average,
right?
But she's in that, and that's not an unrealistic question, because you. A mid-level corporate executive, even they are making, when you say mid-level here, right there, high-level corporate executive, that's probably fair number, 1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To be doing that same amount of time, with working.
I'm gonna say it depends on the person and the personality of the person you're dealing with, both men and women. The personality plays a big role in that, because if she's the type of person who's, believes that the man is head of the household and all that stuff and runs the family, she may say that he was paying regardless of how much he makes, until he tells her to do something she don't want to do. Then she gonna tell his ass, I make more money than you.
That 1.5 million, a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's 10 times what he makes.
Yeah, 10 times what he make.
Right.
I don't know how long. I got a little pet Chihuahua. And she thinks she's in charge.
Right.
And she barks pretty loud.
Well, I say it's the personalities, but those personalities change. It's funny how money changes people's personalities, perceptions of things.
Money is what you attract. You see all these ugly ass men with these fine women?
Yeah, because they got some money.
Yeah, come on now.
Why do you think we go spend $800 a month on a Mercedes while we living in an apartment?
I go back to growing up in the 90s. Dang, dope boy look like McGilla Gorilla.
Right.
Got this fine girl. You sitting there like, man, come on now. And I'm talking about he like a real scary movie. Ugly.
That's when the women start saying they always like ugly men.
Yeah, man. I'm tired. Shit, shit, I've been seeing this story before.
Right.
But again, when you ask questions like that, and people have the ideas of, okay, well, I'm the man, you should do this and do that. And everyone had different views. Women like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And what I want to have to show tonight is to more so to have a conversation in regards to seeing what everybody's different views in regards to finance and relationships, but I also give my ideas, in regards to what I think will be the best way to approach things like that when it comes from a financial standpoint. I had a friend of mine, me and her were talking earlier today, and she asked me, she said, well, ideally, what's, knowing I had been married before, and just asked me, okay, how did me and my ex-wife do finance? Because what we did was we, um, uh, I paid all, we split the mortgage, and I paid all the utilities,
Right.
and we had been doing that since we were kids.
Right. Right.
Like
right.
at one house, we did that, split the bills. Then we got another one. I mean, we just did that.
Mhm.
Don't make it right away. It's just what we came up with.
Right.
Probably we came up with it. We were younger one making that much money, but we just stuck with it. And, this is how we did it.
Right.
Everything else, the bills were paid. That was your money. I think she paid, because both made decent wages.
Mhm.
But that's how we did it. And some friend of mine asked me, she said, "What would be the ideal way?" And I don't know if it's the ideal way. I mean, that's just what we did.
Right.
I mean, the other things we probably could have did differently, but I didn't have a problem with it. I don't think she did.
Mhm.
And I don't think there is a certain way. There's some people, the man should pay for this, or if the man can't do this, that. And I think, now I will say, the problem, the danger that goes into, well, the man should be able to pay this and that. Be realistic. You know what kind of man you got.
Right.
If that man can't generate more mortgage and other bills on top of that, you got to be realistic. And if he can generate mortgage, you got to be realistic what kind of mortgage he got.
Right.
Because if you start talking about somebody that's going to pay the mortgage and pay all the damn bills, we talking about, hell, he probably going to have to, I mean, unless y'all just going to eat, spam, for dinner and stuff like that. You got to be realistic about that. Right. And so if you, percentage wise, you only know there's so many people that, can do certain things, can generate certain amount of money, men and women, even just as a couple. You kind of limit things. You say, well, he should pay for this. Even guys, when they say, I'm going to pay all the bills and stuff like that, being realistic, okay, it's one thing if you're going to pay the bills, but can you pay the bills and do that and still continue a certain lifestyle? Mm-hmm. That's the other thing about it. Paying bills and creating a lifestyle, two whole different things.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I got a comment came in from Slicks316. Women run and take care of the house if they make more or not, right? Oh Lord.
We're gonna
okay,
right
Slick. Okay.
But look, check this out. I think, and Slick threw me off with that comment. Mm-hmm. I think that even when a guy makes say $75,000, $80,000 a year, it still is difficult sometimes for him to pay the mortgage and all the bills. Because you think about it, most mortgages are $1,500 to $2,000 a month. I mean, that's just a regular house. You ain't living in no mansion for that amount, not nowadays. So you think about that at $75,000, $80,000, which used to be good money. That's still a little stretch. You got car, then you got your medical insurance that comes out your check, and that ain't cheap. That's $700-$800 a month. And a lot of people forget that part. They forget that part, that's a bill too, but it comes out of the check. They don't add that in. So a lot of times those things are difficult to do even at that amount of money. The $150,000 that you said your example gave probably would be a little bit easier, but that's when you get up to that range. Most people are not making $80,000 nowadays.
I think that's only 10%. The population make $100,000. We ain't even went into that 1%.
Right.
The millionaires and shit.
Right.
So I'm just saying, I just again, we're gonna give like suggestions at the end of the show. I just think on the front end, people just don't discuss finances that much because love and optimism override so much common sense. People don't spend their time thinking about that.
My problem is I'm just too honest and open. I try not to hide nothing, and I don't give. If I give you the money to do it, just do it. I'm not gonna question you about it because I'm giving you the money to do it. I expect that you're gonna do what needs to be done because you live here too. If the lights get cut off, guess what? Your ass in the dark too. So I don't question anything about that. But my problem is I'm too honest, and I don't hide the money. It is what it is. But I'm learning. I need to hide money. I need not to let money be flowing like that.
Well, see, the thing good is that everybody's not really honest with themselves in regards to, I don't say honest, open-minded enough to understand that their way isn't necessarily the right way. Mm-hmm. And just understanding that the way Lab feels, the way Lab feels, the way he functions. And the way I feel, or whoever you dating, could be the significant, how they feel, and just really having some kind of happy medium. And I think a lot of times financial problems come up either with people having lack of discipline or have lack of planning. Because a lot of times people know shit. They know right and wrong. They know. Again, you can see and say, "Well, I want a man to pay this. I want a man to pay that." If he pays that, what kind of lifestyle you gonna have?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to still go out, you want to still have cruises, you want to go shopping,
Right.
and everything. Both of you, and just being honest with like, can this person generate that? And when you sit there and say that those kind of people don't want to talk about that,
Right.
because me being in the financial service industry, I understand. People that want to make $1 million, and we go back to $1 million. Damn, lad, I ain't got no calculator on me. What's $1 million divided by 12? Let's say easy math. Let's say 1.2 million. So you want 1.2 million. You gotta make 100,000 a month. If you gotta make 100,000 a month, we're looking at making what 2.5, 20.5 a week. So much you got to make a day. You know what I'm saying? We start breaking it down. People are never looking at it from a standpoint of me saying what I want to do and me putting the actual steps in place, like we talk about in our videos about goal setting and planning. It's one thing to make the steps, tangible or incremental. People don't want to sit there and have them things because they feel the optimism. When you get as a couple, when you want to buy that first house together and do that kind of stuff, and you get to looking at houses, you never spend no time before you start looking. Realistically, what can we pay?
Right.
That don't even really come into play.
We always think about
what the hell to get pre-approved, or what the hell we got pre-approved for.
Right. Michael, sorry, I messed up his last name. I'm sorry, Michael, if I mess up your last name. Michael Sistrunk.
What's going on, Mike?
He says that if a woman's with him for what he does, what he can do for her, then he would go out his way because he came into this world, I'm gonna say it, alone, and he doesn't need to be with somebody in order to feel appreciated and valued. So I guess he's saying, don't come to him, trying to get him to do stuff for you. That's not what the relationship is about.
The thing about it though is that when relationships, everybody go into it, you are gonna be the representative.
Right.
So, the guy that seems like confident, he's gonna do this, he's got goals, he has ambition. And the woman that says, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna, have my own little lip gloss company and all this other kind of stuff. And the guy, he gonna make the pressure wash, he gonna be the pressure washing empire.
Right.
We got some shit called reality.
Right.
And then reality hit, that being, layoffs, children, sicknesses, things you can't change or control, rather. Things adjust. Right. And that person that had all that ambition and all the damn plans, wonder what the hell happened to him.
Right.
Life
sets in with a lot of things. Like with me, when I went to college, when I was in college, I had plans. I was like, I'm gonna be retired at 50. I'm laying it out.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, we gonna get the real estate license. We gonna get these brokers license too. We gonna have these master's degrees. You gonna have your nursing, your BSN, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. We laying this thing out. We doing it. But then life sets in. Children sets in. A lot of other things that our financial responsibility starts setting in. You can't really start that business without money if all your money is going to the household.
Do you feel like you did proper planning?
I don't think I did any plan because
just good ideas.
It was good ideas. My problem was that I was young and married. I got married at 18, and I was still in college, and I had children, and I had a wife, and she was in college. So it was kind of like we was kind of flying by the seat of our pants. To be honest with you, we were gonna finish college. We were gonna finish school. That wasn't the problem. The problem was figuring out what to do with what the piece of paper we got. The degree we got, and figuring out, this degree is not going to be enough. This, her nursing, her BSN, her science, and all that stuff is not going to be enough. We need to figure out what else we can attach to that. So ours was kind of like fly by the seat of our pants. We didn't have a plan whatsoever. Our plan was to eat every day and to make sure the bills paid, and we can come home to the lights being off. Yeah,
but what's funny with that though, Lab, is that I don't think nobody knows unless you've been through it before, because marriage is and parenting, that's straight OJT,
right?
So you have all this optimism. We're gonna do this. We're gonna build.
Right.
We're gonna do this. You ain't gonna never say, well, I'm gonna get laid off in a year or two. You know, his job's gonna
Exactly.
move out of state and all this other shit. You don't know. You ain't got a crystal ball. And what you really don't know is how you really don't know how somebody trying to jump on the show. No.
They want to come in your live. Sunshine says she agree with Michael.
She agree with Michael.
Right.
Michael's a bright guy. I you know, I think everybody wants, you know, that Prince Charming, you know, Princess such and such and everything, and live happily ever after. But you got, you know, shit, relationships is rough. Marriage is rough.
That, that's by themselves.
Yeah.
You are financing it. You are financing it, like real financial things, and not just stable finances. You add troubling finances, like I don't know where rent gonna come from next month. Then that becomes a whole different scenario. It's already hard being married or in a relationship and talking about financing itself, but it's even harder being in a marriage or relationship when the finances are not adding up.
Let me tell you something. Just hell, being single, and you hearing a woman over and over, damn, I'm messed up. I got to get this money together. I got to get this together. Now, what the hell you think just would, I don't know. You got some dudes that want to wave the cape, but I'm just saying, what the hell you think turn a guy on to sit here and say, well, okay, well, damn, I need to just go ahead and help her whole financial situation.
Especially if y'all not living together.
Yeah, you hearing like, damn, you know, have you had a good day this month? Every day, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, and vice versa. I'm pretty sure some women here, guy,
Right.
I can't get this together. I can't get that together. And shit, I mean, where would it turn? You know, and you sitting there like, okay, now I don't care how fun they are, or how freaky they are. And those are kind of things you sit here, you like, look, I might can get fun and freaky
For less.
without spending this money.
I might pay $200 light bill, get fun and free. Well, I gotta give out $2,000 a month.
Say,
Fun and
like,
free cover 10% less.
yeah, I'm gonna pay the little $50 Metro PCS bill.
Cricket Wireless bill. Get fun and real freaky with a Cricket Wire bill and get some lemon pepper wings on the side. Oh Lord, it's on the popping.
Oh Lord, loud crazy hell. And so you know you get to thinking about that because you know I really want to have this show. We start looking, you know, especially with how the dynamics are right now because where we are now, we look back at traditional views. And I remember when I was younger, my grandmama, when me and my ex, while we were dating, we had moved in together. My grandma was like, you know, you ain't supposed to be shacking, and you know, you ain't supposed to be doing this, that, and that. I'm glad we did what we did, but we stayed together for a year or so, but we got a chance to kind of see bads and goods and stuff like that. And to our credit, you know, that kind of worked out with us in doing it because we didn't really have no problems with doing it. But I would go back to each his own. But when you look at today's dynamic, whereas my grandmother was speaking from the perspective of her generation,
right,
where women carried more of a subservient role. And what's happened now is you have a lot more women that are in the workforce, and you have a lot more women in the workforce in leadership position, and you got a lot more women in the workforce that are making good money.
More money.
Yeah. And so a lot of times I can look at probably my granddaddy's era. It was more so money used as a control thing. I made the money, I made the rules. And everybody was, you know, if you did or didn't like it, I'm pretty sure if you can ask some of these people from the generation do a little people poll, they probably didn't like it.
Right.
What the hell can you do?
Right.
You know, and they, you know, and some women had maybe a side job to make a little money here and there to keep some money in their pocket. But for the most part, the man made the bills, paid the bills, and that was it.
Uh-huh.
That's not the case now.
Right.
And even if the man is making more, women are still making enough for them to voice their opinion.
Right.
Not saying they, excuse me, never could before, but it's just shit. You know, it's not customary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you think,
yeah.
Lab?
I agree because you know, watching my grandmother and grandfather, you know, my grandmother worked with my grandfather, then he was retired from the army. But she still was subservient. I mean, she did all the checks and books and balances and things like that as far as finance is concerned. But she did sit down and made sure it was okay with him as far as what she was paying and when she was paying it. So like I said, like that generation, that's what they did. That's how they were raised. It was, today's generation is not necessarily raised that way.
Yeah, I think what happens a lot of times it goes to a lot of dynamics um, in regards to how you raised or what you see or what you didn't see. Um, Lack of communication on the front end because we start looking at I think let's go like basic age dynamics
Hmm.
because I had a conversation with an old girlfriend of my high school. Me and her just chopping it up, and she was just asked me about my divorce and asked me a question: Did you do this? Did you do that? And I'm like, no, no. And I asked her a question. I just thought this was just a solid question. Not saying my question was right
Right.
in regard to where I looked at it, but I asked her, and it's just if you have not I'm not saying you got your father present, mother, daddy, not mad, father present. But if you have not seen a husband growing up, say your dad in the house, your uncle, whatever, how the hell you know what a husband's supposed to do?
Right.
Same damn thing with a man. If you ain't seen that, how you know what a wife's supposed to do?
Right.
You typically really just going off what the hell
TV.
you or what you want.
Well, sometimes you go off what you
Yeah,
see on TV,
yeah,
on television. You go
yeah.
off what television tells you or what the media tells you a husband or wife is supposed to do. Because if you don't know, if you've never seen it, you don't know.
And we see what the hell Cliff Huxtable is right now.
Right. And we thought that was the ideal husband and wife team, right? He a lawyer. I mean, he a doctor. She a lawyer.
Cliff dropping the pills on you.
What kind of finances that household had? But
I don't even think that was realistic in that
no,
era.
I don't think it was realistic either.
In that era, especially.
God bless 1, 2, 3, 4. No, marriage is not hard if you do it right. Congratulations on being married for 5 years. Hey, I was married for 25 years.
I was 20.
Yeah, and it still ended. So I mean, we're not trying to put salt in the game, but it is what it is. It happens.
I say this, and I was married right at 20 years. You don't what you, and I'm gonna say this going with the finances and everything. The only thing you know what's really going on is really what's in your head.
Right.
You don't know what the other person thinking. You don't know what motives this, that, and that. Good. Everything will be great. Things can change.
Mm-hmm.
You can get sick. They can run into some money.
Mm-hmm.
They can have a career change, job. Anything can happen.
Right.
And you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You hope. You can pray. You can plan. But you just don't know.
You just don't know.
You just don't know. And I could be, I want to say call people naive, but and say, well, no, that wouldn't happen. Just like with the children. No, my child wouldn't do this.
Right.
My child wouldn't do that. Shit.
Yeah. I'll put nothing past
I got
nobody.
4 great kids. But when I'm not that daddy.
Right.
I don't think they're raping rob somebody. But I damn sure see him like now he was drinking, he was doing this, that, and that. I don't see him doing it, but
Right.
I damn sure to get into a conversation with you banking on they didn't.
Right.
So if you don't have challenges in your marriage, it's great. That doesn't mean you're not.
Right.
That doesn't mean you're not. And I wish everybody well.
Finance is one of them challenges that's a hurdle. That's a pretty high hurdle.
I mean, anything can happen.
Because,
like I said, layoffs,
right.
Things you can't change. Layoffs, downsizing, job moving,
mm-hmm.
Promotions.
I mean, pandemic.
Yeah.
Look how many people got laid off and terminated during the pandemic. They weren't looking for that. Nobody was looking for that. But I think a lot of times when you get laid off or you get fired or a spouse gets fired or and my wife, I'm not trying to put on Front Street, but my ex-wife, she used to always lose jobs, but she used to always find them. I mean, she stayed at a job for 6 months and always found another one. But it would be months in between that time before she found another one. She had degrees. So it was like, what's the deal here? But when she laid out, I'm like, don't worry about it. It is what it is. We'll make it happen. It was never a case of, oh my God, you lost another job. I always tried to have her back on because, I'm her husband. I'm supposed to. So,
yeah,
but the finances do get tight when you got 3 children and they all around the same age, and you trying to get them through school and pay bills and all that stuff. And pretty much nowadays, households are 2-income households.
Yeah.
Unless you're making 1.5 or 6 or 2.5 million a year. Other than that, you need 2 incomes.
Depending on what the output of that particular home, that still can be tough. And I think it's safe to say that you really don't know how things will be unless you go through it.
Right.
I think it's safe to say that. You just don't know. Because I can sit and say what I went through. Hell, I never would have thought that. To sit and say, well, no, 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 well, no, we're gonna work it out and tell other people work it out. But sometimes shit just can't be worked out. And I think when you're on one spectrum, especially when we talk about things such as money, it can change a lot of things.
It does.
And to your point, you just said to everybody has a different tolerance level. Everybody got a different tolerance level because your get up and go and my get up and go can be totally different.
It's two different.
I might be on some hustle bustle. Let me go cut some grass and wash some dishes and do this, that, and that. And you might be like, I didn't get no hits from Indeed or Google today.
Right.
So, until you get that, you're not getting up from the sofa.
I mean, I've always been on with my degrees. I've always been on ain't no job beneath me. As long as a check coming in, I'm good. But I'll figure it out until something else better comes in. My problem was, and I noticed this when I was married, even though she lost a lot of jobs or quit a lot of jobs and found other ones, and I always supported her in whatever her idea was. As soon as I lost a job, it was a different story. Yeah, my God, he ain't got no job. And I might have been off the job 3-4 months. Still, it takes a little time to find the right job. You interview all day, you interview every week and all that. But as soon as my situation changed, and I was never fired from any job. It's always a case of, termination or whatever. I've always been a blue collar person.
Yeah.
So as soon as that happened, world has ended.
And the thing with that though, Lab, is that until you go through that, you don't know for reaction.
Right.
You don't know your reaction. You don't know if when you losing a job, do they crank figures that you never seen in them before?
Right.
Do that make some things happen, make them say or do things that they never done before? You just don't know.
Right.
You don't know. Like, it's just like a person gets sick, we say the death do us part. Until you go through that, you don't know.
You just don't know. Right.
You hope you can remain strong, but you said now, you can't get your hair fixed no more. Can't go nowhere no more. You can't do that. So you'll stay down, but you don't know.
Right.
Everyone is very, very, very resolved, resilient, and tough till they get into it.
Well, what Tyson say? You always have a plan till you get punched.
Yeah. You get hit, and you figure that you're gonna have one reaction, but your reaction is totally different.
Right.
You just don't know.
That's true.
And that's why I kind of want to have that discussion tonight. And so we ask ourselves, but before we go any further, again, this is a Tonight Show. We're talking about finance and relationships. Streaming live on both my YouTube channels, Change the Live, hosted by yours truly, Deontay Burton. Also, Mr. Short Dollar. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Shannon Turner says, I'm sorry to cut you off. We'll go back to that. I'm sorry. I thought you was done. My bad. Good? Shannon Turner says marriage is hard when you're not equally yoked. And God Bless 123 says he thinks all couples should engage in marriage counseling activity. And I guess that's on the financial part too, when you're trying to,
The thing is, the first part, even with the equally yoked, what happens, I think a lot of times when people, you can meet each other and you be equally yoked. But as you go through something called life, and the way you evolve and the way the other person evolved, things change. Mm-hmm. Things that was important to you at 22, 32, 42, 52, and 62 all change. I did, like I told my son this past weekend, we was talking about, P in college, and he trying to figure out what he want to do. And I'm like, hey, bro, you don't know what you're going to do. I said, you can tell me 5-6 years ago, I'd be YouTubing.
Right.
So you don't know.
You don't.
And even with the point with the marriage counseling, I agree. The problem that comes up is when you start going to counseling, the fact that you're not anticipating is when you dealing with that, is both parties going to be receptive to what's said.
Right.
Because it's one thing, I got a problem with you.
Right.
And they got a problem with me. And they saying it's my fault.
Right.
Or they saying things I need to do, and you just, okay. And everybody ain't cool with it.
Right. Everybody in counseling is not listening to receive. They're listening to reply. I read a book. I'm always reading.
That's a very good point.
I'm always reading. And like what you said about growth. I'm a Stoic. I study Stoicism, and Seneca says
This dude is
that you
brilliant.
would be foolish to desire the same things you desired as a child as a grown man.
Absolutely.
So, growth is important. And if you still desire the same things you did as a teenager, now as an adult, you're a foolish person. That can't be. So growth is important. Like me, I got married at 18. I keep going back there because there was a growth time. I was married for 25 years. I got married at 18. Well, as the years went by, as the 22nd, 23rd, 24th year moved by, you start hearing things like, I feel like I missed out on some stuff because we got married so early. You get what I'm saying? So those things apply with financial things, apply with other things, put pressure on it, and pressure bust pipes. Yeah. So you're right. Things grow. I grow because I felt like those things wasn't important. I'm too old now to worry about me not partying at the club. I'm moved on from that. I got children now. I can't worry about I didn't get a chance to stay out all night at the club and get drunk. That's not my goal now. But apparently that was their goal. So then you add the financial part onto that. Her not working, needing insurance, having children. Those things add a lot of pressure and instability to the relationship.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you can just be deeply in love, but we go as far as let's think about do your evolution over the years. One might be like, let's live life. Kuda Matata.
Right.
We're gonna pay our bill, this, that, and that. And another one's talking about let's build financial wealth. Let's leave a legacy. Now, this person's not irresponsible. The other one, they paying their bills, but they want to enjoy life. They want to go on cruises and do all this other kind of stuff. They're not so much about putting this, surplus of money into savings or whatever. But one really wants to build certain things. Who's right, who's wrong?
Right.
And can you have some kind of happy median? And that shit causes problems.
It does.
Son, you just ain't think it's that simple. I got a comment. Slick said, I have bought him everything but paying his student loans was my breaking point.
Our producer at the Bedside Production Lab is talking about her divorce. Her divorce, she came, she got a certain amount of money and everything was great. She was buying and paying off and doing everything for everybody that she was supposed to within the family, which she felt was her responsibility to do, and she did. But when it came to the student loans, that was a breaking point. The student loans were created before they got married. So she felt like that wasn't her responsibility. Well, he felt like, oh yeah, it was. So that financial issue right there is what caused the problem.
And at the end of the day, you sitting there like, who's right, who's wrong?
Right.
Well, we together, you should do it.
Right.
No, that was for me.
Right.
No, but who right, who wrong? But those kind of what I'm talking about, conversations on the front end. The kind of you might can find that out. Like, no, and you hear that kind of stuff.
I don't know if you can have that kind of conversation on the front end because you don't necessarily expect to come into a lump sum of money later on down the line. So you can't have a conversation where, and I know you about to say bullshit, you can't have a conversation where you be like, I'm about to get X amount of dollars. And what you think about your student loan? You can't, I don't think those examples or those, templates can be placed on anything to where you can test it.
I get it. But yeah, boyfriend and girlfriend, baby, that's my prenups. Do you believe in disciplining children? Do you believe in kids going to private schools or public schools? Like all this shit need to be asked.
Right.
I had people sit down, just heated debates. My wife wanted to send my kid to private schools. We can't afford that. Right. We doing this, that, and that. They doing that, going in all kind of debt to go to private schools. And he's paid the money to go to private school. They done went there.
Right.
You ain't got no damn money to pay for college.
True.
And this is not uncommon stuff.
Right.
And because people could never get on the same page or really have those tough conversations, or like, well, I'm just gonna let her do this. I'm just gonna let him go on and fall on his face. And at the end of the day, when you're living in unison, that's gonna cause, just like that dripping pipe. It's only gonna get worse.
Right.
And how you choose to handle it, either fix it or wait till it explode. See all the damage you've done. You just got to deal with it either way. You still got to address it at some point, either beginning or when it's totally out of hand. At some point, you have to address it. You know,
I always take I always go on the aspect of we're in this together, so we're gonna try to come together. But if you get a certain lump sum of money or whatever, I'm not gonna ask you for any of your money anyway, because I feel like just me being who I am, I shouldn't have to ask. If we together, we together. Just like you won't have to ask. It is what it is. If it's there, you need to use it. Ain't no big deal to me. But I guess I want to say I'm learning that's probably not necessarily the way it goes, but it's always the way it's been from my marriage and on. It's just the way I've always been, because I figure we here together.
Yeah.
We're cohabitating together. So if you don't do necessarily what needs to be done, or if I don't do necessarily, it's going to affect both of us. It's going to have a chain reaction to both of our outcomes.
I agree with that.
I mean, you can't tell me. I'm sorry. I can't say, well, you know, you didn't pay the light bill. Light's gonna get cut off. I'm gonna go stay at this hotel till you get the light bill. I could say it, but why would I want to? Because I'm paying bills here too. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I just think that it's easy, very easy to say things until you get into the situation. I was talking to some brothers, and this is you heard when back Cash Money and Wayne them said it ain't tricking.
Down in 2000.
Yeah, it ain't tricking. It ain't tricking if you got it.
Right.
And I look back at it, and I would look at it. The word tricking is one of them great words, and it's all relative to the way you at. I feel like a person will say somebody tricking when they doing some stuff they can't do. So if you feel like it's tricking, he feel like he balling.
Right.
And then when you get to that mountain, or you at that level, you balling.
Right.
And everybody looking at you tricking.
Right.
Because if you got $100,000, $1 million sitting in your bank, you just want to give somebody something and have fun and get the hell on. That's just how your mindset is.
Right.
Because you got that kind of money. And if you ain't seeing that, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. But you don't know.
Right.
Until you get that in your pocket.
Right.
Now, I'm just saying that, out of words, and I'm speaking out of experience. You don't know until you get it.
Right.
Because your mindset, shit, when it's one thing to say, I'm going to buy my food and cook my groceries. But then when your bank say one thing, you can go order DoorDash. DoorDash ain't expensive. It's all relative.
We all say we're gonna be frugal till we don't have to be.
Exactly.
We all frugal till we don't have to be.
Exactly. And I just think sometimes people don't want to be open-minded enough to understand that. Because we remember I say we're in this my way is the right way mentality.
Right.
And so what I want to discuss is kind of like go through like a little age pattern in regards to, kind of being realistic about how people are going to look at certain things with finances. So I say like, and when you're real young, you kind of mimic what you see. Mm-hmm. See mama, daddy, auntie, grandmama, everybody doing as far as money, how they handle it and stuff. I remember just looking at my grandparents. They were very damn unique. Mm-hmm. They would borrow from each other, and would always come back. What if my money? This is my grandmama and granddad.
Right.
This is what I seen growing up.
Right.
I didn't like how they would come at each other about money they borrowed from each other.
Right.
So that was one thing I would never do that, right? But then you kind of look at your teen years, you kind of learn, that all that stuff from a small child to adolescent, teenager, that's more observations.
Right.
What you've seen growing up and everything. And depending on how that stuff was done, say if it's domestic violence, cussing, trauma, you might say trauma, talking about you're in a house and every damn thing cut off and stuff like that. You're learning what people are doing, what you feel is right, what you feel is wrong, or stuff you be like, man, I ain't never gonna go through this. So you spend them years kind of doing some observations. You're getting like your 20s is kind of like you experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
Your 20s you kind of effing up, running your credit cards up, then you're doing this, that, and that, trying to figure it out. You listen to people doing certain things, you figuring out what's best for you. So it's kind of like that little time of like I say, experimenting. Messing
or if you're
up.
in the military, you buying Cadillacs.
There you go. But you're doing things off. It's kind of like OJT. Mm-hmm. If you kind of like don't necessarily have anything instilled in you, and that's kind of tough because being in financial services and hear people say like, well, this wasn't taught in school. I think people forget about what was your mentality in school. Would you even been receptive to that? Because I was in the financial services magnet program, which was boring to probably 90% of the kids in school. So they didn't want to hear that shit.
Well, a lot of times you don't want to know about managing money you don't have. Well, I don't have it, so why I got to worry about it?
Well,
You get what I'm saying? But you understand,
well,
right?
I was the opposite.
Right.
Because I was all in the clouds and I knew what I wanted.
Right.
And everything. I told you that was my dream, man. You know, I was catch the 50 Bankhead downtown, and I see them men walking around with their suits and they office. That's all I wanted. Give me a suit and give me an office downtown.
A briefcase?
Briefcase.
Good.
Boy, I told you, once I got that shit, I had me a nice office downtown, oak and marble. That shit was overrated.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I got that. When I got it, shit, I like whatever.
That's what you see. That's what you see as being successful in making it, per se.
Yeah.
You got the office downtown, you got the suit on, you got the briefcase, and you making $35,000 a year. Bam, you good. Your bills are $67,000 a year, but hey,
you know, but those are the kind of things you like to them 20s. That's that kind of like that little, you know, educational effort time. Then you get to your 30s, you kind of start repairing, start fixing everything. You're trying to implement, negotiate, all the kind of things that you felt didn't work. You're trying to fix it out. You know, you just okay. Now let me try to do this. Let me get my credit straight. Let me go and try to buy a house. Let me go try to do this and do that. You know, all those kind of things. Now you're starting to just really initiate from the successes and failures you did in your 20s. And I'm not saying this is everybody's path, but you know, kind of on average.
Right.
What happens? You get to your 40s. This is where kind of rubber meets the road because you kind of set in your ways. You like shopping or you like saving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's not a bad thing, but you kind of make yourself somewhat restricted by your lack of flexibility. And it's hard to make somebody north of 40 a saver. It's hard to make somebody north of 40 a traveler. Not saying it ain't possible, but if you like, you know, going to work and popping a bill and looking at TV after you get, you know, and you 45, chances are you're gonna stay that way.
Right.
And you know, here, you know, so I'm just saying, like, as we evolve through life, and we just talking about even just regular couples outside of finances, people change. And like I said, what important you're 22, 32, 42, 52, or 62, all changes. Some have been crazy about sports in their 20s. They only want to look at TV in their 40s to 50s. Right. And those are kind of things that I just think a lot of times people don't think about.
Right.
And I'm not saying you should, because you know your mind. And as you get older in your life experiences, you understand that. And we start looking at it from a money perspective. People hit 45 or 50 and they talking about building wealth. And you know, like I talk about all the time, shit, what the hell you gonna do in 10 years to build $1 million?
Right.
And what the hell you gonna do?
Win a lot.
Besides put some shit on the paper and photocopy the hell out of it.
Go to Vegas,
man.
Put 10,000 on 7.
If you hit 50 and you ain't got that's shit. If you hit 50 and you know you retire at 60, it's nothing. I don't know what the hell you can put in your 401k.
Right.
To
10
make
years.
You feel like shit.
All of it ain't gonna eat. Even you put your whole check in there, it's not gonna do it.
Y'all better check out my video in regards to what you need to do for retirement. Because they don't, because you, number one, you still ain't gonna have the discretionary income to be able to allocate to it. I ain't saying don't do it,
right?
But be very realistic about what the hell you can do.
But also I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Deontay. I really do. But how many of us really, and I'm besides you, Mr. Financial CPA, masters in supply chain and all that, who really thinks about who really thinks about retirement at 20 and 30 years old? I mean, you should be. Don't get me wrong, everybody. You should be thinking about it. But in all reality, we're just living life every day. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna get from one day to the other. We're not thinking about 65, 67 years when it's time to retire, even though we should be. But actually, how many people do you think, in reality, how many people do you think really are thinking about that?
I think that's a super danger with this damn millennial group, because they're actually making. I'm gonna tell you something. Two theories I got with millennials right now. I love their entrepreneurial energy. I
Right.
love that. But two things. I think that's the generation you're gonna see what the direct effects of marijuana are gonna have. No, hear me out. Hear me out, Lab. The second is I think a lot of them going to have some very, I mean, it's in a bad way. I mean, this is me speaking. You see a lot of them suicide rates because they're going to see how the hell I was in my 20s making all them hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm in my 50s and I had no kind of planning or whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
See, people, let's say anybody north of 50. No, I say 55 and up. So you're from the pension era.
Mm-hmm.
So you know if you worked there such and such so many years,
You had a
post office, the plant, or whatever, you had a pension.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew what happened. We go back to what 93, I think 93 when they started the 401k plans with the companies. Quick little history lesson when 401ks, I don't know the exact date, but when they came in jobs, pretty much 401ks came because pension plans got so enormous.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs had, companies had to go to Congress and get initiated. Let's put the shit on the employee.
Right.
Because we
can't
can't
pay some of it.
Yeah, because we can't keep funding these massive ass retirement pensions.
Mm-hmm.
And so when these
For
folks
these millions of employees.
yeah, exactly. And so by the time these folks get to that point, we can't guarantee we're gonna have a fund to be able to fund them in retirement for perpetuity. So you said that, look, okay, now we got the 401k. So now the onus is on the employee.
But in the beginning, though, it wasn't all on the employee so much as it is now. In the beginning, it was a employee company match. You put 50 cents in, the company put 50 cents in the beginning. When it first started, it was the company matched what you put in your 401k.
Well, a lot of them match to a certain point now.
Now it's not even, it's barely 25% of what you put in. So if you put in $100, they may put in 20. You get what I'm saying? So it's not an even match like it was in the beginning. In the beginning, it was, all right, you need to save for your retirement. You put in $1, we gonna put in $1. Now, after a certain amount of time, after 10, 15 years has passed, it's gotten down to you put in $1, we gonna put in 15 cents.
Yeah, I think it's kind of custom 8%.
Okay.
Max. I think 8% max. But even with that said, just where we at now, to your question, if somebody young, how they gonna be thinking about that? Mm-hmm. Whereas your parents went into working for the post office knowing they're gonna retire in a couple years.
Right.
They went working at the Ford plant knowing they were gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you sitting there like, shit, you done sat there in the freelance, and now you're 45 or 50, like, what the F I'm gonna do?
Right.
And now you're trying to sit here and do Bitcoin at 50. And
but you don't even really have those aspects to work at a job for 30 years no more. I mean, like we talk about all the time, automation, all that stuff, eliminates a lot of those jobs. So you don't necessarily have the option to work at a job for 20 or 30 years anymore. Those options are not on the table for the millennials now. Those options are not on the table. And I think a lot of times what they're doing, they're wearing their options. That's why they quit and switch jobs a lot, because they're trying to find the best paying job for them at the particular moment.
I totally get it. If you weighing your options, you bouncing around, that still does not alleviate that you're going to grow older.
Exactly.
So that's not going to change that. So I just think that, that whole perspective, to your point about, who's thinking about that. Shit, you join the army knowing hell at 18, I can retire from this damn job at 38.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, that was just the thing. Know that. If I can hang here 20 years,
mm-hmm.
at 38, I can get a check the rest of my life.
Right.
So I can't say they don't think about it. It's just not a priority to them.
Okay.
And a lot of times, let's be honest with you, the more money we make, sometimes we feel like we're smarter.
Right.
So when you get smarter, you feel like you got more time than what you got. I talked about that before in regards to when you're younger and you start thinking about when 40 years, when you're 20 something, you think about 40 years from now when you're 60, that shit too long.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get 40 and it's 20 years, you panicking, I ain't got no time to save that kind of damn money.
Right.
So when we get an example of what we talked about, Lab, if you say that in retirement at 60, you retire at 60 and you want to live to 80,
mm-hmm.
and you say, okay, what do I need to live? I need $30,000 a year to live. Kids grown, house paid off. We just want a little Winnebago travel money, whatever. Right. 30 grand a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from 60 to 80, that's $600,000.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you can have $600,000 set to the side
Mm. Mm. And
at
that's not with
40?
that's with no frills.
Come on, man. Hell no.
You know,
So
everybody thought $1 million was comfortable enough, but they said $1 million is not even enough to retire on nowadays. They say you
yeah,
need 1 point. You need like what was the last thing I read? And I read this a while back. They were talking about like 1.5 million now to retire comfortable.
look here, man. Shit. I, 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 I'm totally on the other side of those whole theories because at the end of the day, even with $1 million, what the hell you gonna, if you bust your tail to save $1 million in retirement, what the hell you gonna do with it? You ain't doing nothing. Got your kids like this.
Wait for you to come.
Yeah, it might be pushing you downstairs. Like I said, I think that 30 grand is a safe number. Just for looking at it and everything for maintain the lifestyle. North of 60. But again, the numbers you're gonna need to generate for that. So that's why y'all need to make sure you look at that video. So what I give you my strategy of what you need to be doing that. But fast forward, we start talking about as far as a family, and you go into these different dynamics of uh, having these two different ways of thinking. I'm the man. I should be able to do this. No, I make most of the money, so you can't tell me what the hell to do. And all this stuff is going on. There's friction. When does the plan come together in regards to what we're going to do?
Right.
Hey, how you doing? What's this? Badass me, bad as me. Oh, I like your name. Look pretty. Hey to you. But a lot of times people theoretically they'll look at it like that. I feel like I'm right. We should do it the way I want to do it,
Mhm.
and it's tough because, like I say, as of now, we look at that golden rule. He who made the gold made the rules.
Right.
And that ain't even putting that on the agenda.
Mhm.
And I think when we go to traditional philosophies where our grandparents or parents thought in regards to the man doing this, that, and that, it's kind of hard, realistically, to sit here and try to make these damn rules if she's swinging this bigger paycheck on you. I ain't saying she in charge. I'm just saying that
She can get on.
Yeah, she can get on.
She get the hell on.
Yeah, like I'm a stickler with this now. I always tell my 4 sons, just always make sure you take care of yourself.
Right.
If it's known that you can take care of yourself and you with them because you want to be with them, not because you need them.
Right.
I think a lot of things, whatever. Now in life, we're going to go through things. Like I said, we said the layoffs, the sicknesses, and stuff like that. You might have to depend on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to do a career change. You might want to start a business. You hope you had that. Talked to a partner of mine at the club this weekend. He going down that road of entrepreneurship. He said, "Man, it feel good. I got my girl. She supporting me." I said, "Bro, look here. When you start going down this road of entrepreneurship, you don't know where she might fall to the bump. You hope she don't. But speaking from a person that, I built this from the dirt. Ain't nobody see my vision the way I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it wasn't going the way it wasn't, a lot of folks just turned, folk close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I fault them? I look back at it now out of maturity because it seemed when you said I'm start my business up and I sell so many of these, I make this, you're not thinking about setbacks.
Right.
Vendors changing, price going up, demand decreasing, and all this other kind of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so their interest or their support of you can kind of dwindle away.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side of it is I always look back at it, by me not having the support and doing that just proved to me how much I wanted it.
Right.
Right? When you get to the other side of it, that's how bad I wanted it. I didn't give a damn who will support me or not.
Right.
But everybody ain't built like me.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, some folks need pats on the back, whatever. And it's good. But you can't go that way. And that's why I think sometimes people don't spend enough time to kind of do it. Because don't spend enough time to have those uncomfortable conversations, right? Tonight we're talking about financing and relationships. Again, this is a combination of both my YouTube channel, Change the Live, hosted by yours truly, Deontay, and also Mr. Short Dollar. Okay, we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. And you start thinking about couple goals, like what we talked about earlier. Do you want to prosper or do you want to just live?
Right.
Right. Everybody gonna have different things. The probably common response would be, I want to do both.
Right.
I want to do this and travel this, that, and that, but everything comes at a cost.
Right.
Right? Traveling gonna come at a cost. You spend the money to do it. Also, if you enjoying yourself, but when you get back, is the lights gonna be on?
Mm.
You sit here want to do this life full of saving and accumulating. There are probably some things you missed out on that you know didn't get to travel as much. You didn't get exposure to certain things, and now you're old and dead. You never did get a chance to visit certain things.
Right.
Right. So it's a cost
Mm.
with doing it. Are you trying to build? Are you trying to live? You know those kind of things. Um, do both of you guys have a shared vision? Now we talking about past the words of we want to do this. You know, we're equally yoked. We're
Right.
doing this, that, and that. That shit sound good. That shit sound good. Nobody get together saying that okay, I'm gonna go ahead and f up money, or I believe she just gonna do that. You know, you
Right.
got some fools they know, but for the most part, nobody. Let me change that. Some folks do, but most of the time, we don't get in situations knowing it's gonna cause stress later on in our lives.
That's true.
You know, and
Nobody says, "Oh man, it's gonna be some great stress."
yeah,
Nobody looks for
exactly.
stress.
Exactly. And so you think that things can work out. A lot of times you think you could change her. She thinks she can do some things to help him and push him along, regardless of what he's been doing for the past 30 years. And
Right.
and she's already said she ain't got a damn interest in doing that. But I'm gonna have her work, do my answer the phones of my business and she can care less.
Right.
But we feel like we can change them.
Right.
And we find out when the rubber meets the road, they done told you whatever, and now you got issues.
Mm-hmm.
Your business can't go nowhere because this person probably gave you some information or intel, and your ass didn't want to listen to it when it happened. So with that said, I'm gonna give you guys my suggestions that I think that if most couples follow this advice rather, it will help you a lot better, in the future, especially with dealing with certain things. Because it's like we had a comment earlier where the person said that it's not tough, 5 years in.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, but that's a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just get out there in honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You get that 10, 15, you're in the bullshit phase.
Mm-hmm.
Things change. And
That 20 hit hard.
And that real though. That's
Right.
real. That's real, And I admire a lot of, when you see some of these couples been married 50 and 60 years and you're like, man, that's cool and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, if that's something people married, they can really be, because again, you got so many errors.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it prior to the past 10 years, you ain't have women doing the shit they doing now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like now, man, it's different.
It's real different.
It's different. So, I hear that. That's great to do that. And, I know it is work. It's work to be married, to stay married, to be in a relationship with that. But I think that a lot of planning, a lot of disciplining, and a lot of communicating, a lot of other stuff, praying, all that, they're going to come into the mix. But I want to give you guys my advice to you. If you follow this, I think it'll help you out a lot. All right. The first thing is, and you don't know, but I do think you need to have hard conversation when you're dating. Discuss your views. And ask. Don't be stuck on. Don't leave it as a response. Ask why. Ask how. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to have $1 million one day. I want to have a trucking company. I want to, start this daycare. How you gonna do that? Whatever. And see what you do that. You're not questioning them. You just try to see if they on some bullshit.
Right.
You want to see if they, okay, they giving thought. Because sometimes folks just talking, and you say, yes, yeah. Then when you hear that, they want. I don't know. I'm gonna call my cousin, and we gonna do this and we do that. I mean. You laughing, but I'm saying this is honest shit.
I get you.
Really have some tough conversations. What you looking to do? What what are you planning on doing? Mm-hmm. Whatever. Never say shit. I'm cool at my job. I just work there. Okay, cool. Like y'all fine up there. They do this, that, and that. They might ain't even thought about that shit.
Right.
And they had them tough conversations. This is not to stop you guys. It's not to stop you, but it's to make you aware. Once you're aware, hell, the onus on you what decision you gonna make. But that I didn't know shit. No, you need to ask. People don't ask because they don't want to be held accountable.
There you go.
Because it's easy to say I didn't know, but nobody didn't tell me. It's easy to do that. But once you know, that's on you.
Make sure it's done properly.
There you go. Or if you even want to deal with it.
Right.
But people don't ask, so don't have to be put into, be held accountable or it can be like, okay, well, you knew.
Right.
The second thing is know your personal views regarding financial relationship. Know yours. If you're frugal, stingy, you don't give a damn, you want to play it how you live, you want to sit here and build wealth and do that stuff, know how you are and be cool with it.
Right.
Be cool with it. I know how I am. I know how I was, whatever. I know, I'm a tightwad. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have fun in life.
Right.
But some stuff ain't no big deal to me.
Right.
And if I want to do certain things, I do it, but I know how I move.
Mm-hmm.
And did that mean I got to get a person like me? No, but the thing of this, somebody got to understand that about me. Know your way, know your personal views on how you on money and relationship. Know that. The second thing is know your mate's views with that. You hoping you change them, you not addressing it or having a conversation with it, don't make the shit go away.
Right.
You know I ain't like doing that. You know I like to shop. You know I don't be caring. You know I gotta have this, I gotta have that. If she like that, she like that.
Right.
If you know you've been ugly your whole life and you haven't been getting women, you start getting women, and coincidentally, they know what you do and stuff like that, you know they're with you for your money. And if you know you're in some volatile situation for that, and your money might change, or she's just worried about money. But if you got her because of your money, you got to be realistic. You're going to keep her because of your money.
We all lead with our best asset.
There you go. There you go. Same thing. So if you get with somebody, Nate, with this female, with her looks,
right,
her looks style, gravity, everything singing and hanging.
Right.
That stuff in the front look like them things on the side.
That's consequence.
Instead of having 2 arms, now she got 4 arms.
Right.
So you sit there like, man,
right,
man, you got to sit here and be realistic with that kind of stuff. Understand how they feel about finances. Understand how they views about it. They want to be saving. They want to be doing it. And I say again, make sure this person ain't damn just run their damn mouth.
Right.
You ask them questions. How? Why? Because now you got somebody, you have some kind of sense if they BSing or they, or they actually put some thought to it instead of just talking.
Just saying something to make you happy. Or they're just saying something to make you happy or think
add to the conversation.
Saying something they think you want to hear. That's it.
I don't want you to try to make me shut up. I need you to tell them the truth.
But I think a lot of times when we meet folks, that our conversation when we first meet folks is about, we lead to the finance because the first thing we say is, yeah, how you been doing here? Yeah, I went to school. But what you do?
Yeah, you find that out. But when we start talking about long term and they start talking about what they trying to do, whatever, you ask them kind of questions. Because now you got to sit here and say, okay, let me, because I can tell you anything on things.
Right.
But when I tell you how and why, now I got to give you an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
If they ain't got the how and why, even if they could be lying, even if they be lying about it, you at least know they gave some thought to it.
Right.
Many a time when you ask them kind of question, folks can't figure it out. You already know they on some bullshit.
Right.
Just and again, these are things that just sit on the front end to help you. Mm-hmm. Okay, like I said, I'm not trying to tell you not to deal with a person. I'm just telling you these things you need to be looking for to kind of help you in regards to
when you are dealing with
exactly. Okay, the next one is this is a tough one. Asking yourself, can you compromise? And be very, very, very honest about it. Can I compromise? Can I be able to adjust and change? And I have a theory. I don't think most people, I think it's hard when you hit 35 to compromise. You are how you are. You like hanging and doing stuff the way you like doing it. And that's how you are. Do I think you can change? Anything's possible. But I think north of 35 is tough. Definitely north of 40.
No.
You are how you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to just say to yourself, like, damn how much you like them. Damn how much they cool or whatever and all this other stuff, the sex, the fun, the money. Can you really adjust to that? And like I said, I think it's very difficult north of 40. Again, there are exceptions to the rule or whatever. Yeah, and this is my opinion. But I just think that we're setting our ways then. So I want people to really ask that question. Can I compromise? This person likes shopping a lot. This person is not a big deal with them about putting money for these kids to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
This person is not. They can care less about retirement. You know what I'm saying? You're serious about it. Can you compromise to a point where you say, okay, like, you know, you can make those adjustments. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's very, very tough. You know, I mean, but you got to be honest with yourself again with that compromising aspect. Um, the next one is, and this is personal accountability. You got to get a good effort to try to make it work. Got to get a good effort. If y'all trying to build, y'all trying to just sit here and function and everything like that, you got to give a good effort. You got to give a good effort where you can say, like, because me adjusting to your path and finances and everything, you adjusting mine, we got to make some, if I ain't cool with it, but I'm just hoping you just change your mind, that's crazy.
Right.
So I got to do some showing, some acting, some this, that, and that campaigning. But it ain't gonna be as simple all the time as just you stating. That makes sense.
I get it.
But you got to give a great effort with it. The next thing is continue to learn. Continue to find out other ways that y'all can evolve, other ways that you can get better, other ways they can get better, other ways y'all can get better, and just keep enhancing what you done started and what you done built. So y'all can go on a great path, on an all right path. And the last one is, and I think this is probably what a lot of folks have a problem with. Don't let money overshadow how you feel about a person. Don't let money do it, because at the end of the day, if you like them, you care about them, and you basing your feelings on how much they bring to the table or what you doing now that they ain't doing because you got your promotion or you got your education, you can't let that overshadow what how you felt about a person.
Right.
And I think that's so important, because money come and go, just like looks do. And when you make that the basis, if it does change, you done lost everything if you don't try to make a decision
Based
to not
off
deal.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope those things help. Now reiterate: number one, discuss your views when you're dating. Number two, know your personal views regarding financial relationship. The third one is know that of your mates. The fourth one is asking yourself the hard question: can you compromise? And be brutally honest with yourself about that. Can you compromise or not? The fifth one is give a great effort in what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build, what you're trying to learn with that person. The sixth one is continue to learn, continue to enhance what y'all trying to do, how you think, helping them where they think, how y'all work together. And the last one is do not let money overshadow your feelings and your love for your mate. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show where we talked about, love and relationships, finance and relationships. I had a great discussion. I hope you guys did too. We're streaming on all the platforms tonight. I appreciate all the love and support we've been getting on Mr. Short Dollar, and also Change Your Lives. Continue to share the information we got with everything. Now, with that said, I'm gonna open the floor up. So if you got any question regarding relationships, finances, business, grants, now's your time to ask me no question. The floor is open right now.
Right.
So anybody got any questions?
Not yet. They
Okay.
give them a second. I'm gonna say this. I think money will bring out a person's who they truly are. I just believe that. I believe that money will bring out who a person truly is. What did I read? I read something about money a while back, and it said something about when a person, being broke doesn't necessarily doesn't get money. I mean, being broke doesn't necessarily. Dang it, I can't think of what it says now. Dang it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all time to come in with the questions. I can't think of what it was now. But I know the next part of it was money only brings out who you truly are.
Well, the thing of it is, Lab, I just think sometimes when the notion of certain things can happen or you can attain certain things, people's views change. That's why I said when I brought the whole thing about the tricking and stuff, it's so relative, because when you have the capacity to do certain things, you thinking that way.
That's the way it is.
And when you don't have it, I would never do that.
Right.
Why would I do that? Why would I, when we had the discussion about the landscapers, and I paid $130 a month for the guys to come out and knock my yard out twice a month. Brother, matter of fact, big shout out to Hardy Blash, man. His father passed I think it's Monday or Sunday, man. That's my landscaper, solid brother. Been doing my yard for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna give my condolences out to Hardy and his family, man. Um, man, solid guy, but his father passed early in the week. But anyway, I know that man's super successful what he does. My point with that is, if Deontay Burden, y'all, it's public information.
Mm-hmm.
I charge $210 an hour for consultation.
Right.
If I charge $210, I got no business. Them guys come they in out my yard in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Cut broom, and I'm on had damn almost an acre.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of little shrubbery bushes and all that. They gone. What the hell? Now I know we talking about 3-4 hour job with me.
Easily.
Breaks,
break,
liquor breaks.
Gotta look at Instagram.
Yeah, cigar break.
Monkey
all
soda
that,
break.
But those kind of things, when you know your value, whatever, you don't get caught up in it. And I think sometimes, from a relative standpoint, if you are, how can I put it, valuing your time and your money a certain way, you're not gonna do certain things. Mm-hmm. So again, when you have money or to do certain things, you're gonna think differently. You're gonna move differently. And I just think a lot of times people don't necessarily aren't open to mind, and now you're not gonna really think like that till you get that situation.
I also find though that when people have had money for so long or all their lives, they don't know how to survive without it. Once if they lose it, it becomes an issue. They just start cracking up to me from what I've witnessed. So I've never had it. So a person who's never had it can adjust to not having it. Can look like, okay, I've been here before and I'm here now. I made it through it. So I'm not finna crack up just because this happened. And money's not there. I'm figure it out and come to it when I get to it. Nothing I can do about it now. I don't have the money now, but a person who has had money and who would just point and click and be like, "Oh, that's broke. $5,000, get it fixed. Go and get that fixed."
Well, as a person that ain't had it, but now I got a quarter in my pocket. Damn that shit. And you don't want to never sacrifice my health. No one never sacrifice my family. But I damn sure rather be on the other side with a quarter in my pocket.
Right.
Got a question. Slick said, "Do you tell your mate about all your bank accounts?" Me personally, hell to the no. But should you do it? I don't know. I mean, that's a relative question.
Right.
That's a relative question. And I'm not saying trying to hide it. I don't necessarily nobody need to know all my mates where they money at. I think how you set it up, because I can just use my marriage, it was never an issue of hiding. As long as business was taken care of, it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. So if I start this particular business up and I'm making this amount of money, and I got another one making this amount of money, the things we're taking care of mutually, if that's done, that's fine. If she's interested, she could find out. Mm-hmm. But and vice versa. If she started selling cakes or pies or shirts, and she want me to help her, I would guess I get exposed to it.
Right.
But that's her thing, and she's taking care of home with what we agreed on we doing. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn what she got like in her bank or But it's just on. If y'all sitting there, okay, y'all living on one account and y'all working together doing that, that's different. But that's why I say it's all relative, because how your household roll and function, that's how y'all roll and function. Mm-hmm. I know just like situations like divorce, when you get folks go through discovery, you be like, what the hell? I didn't know. But that ain't, to me, uncommon. Mm-hmm. For folks not to know. Now, if you sitting there like, they telling you they ain't got it, they telling you they ain't got it, you doing this, I think that's kind of foul.
You're right.
And they stacking the whole time.
But they got it. They telling you they ain't got it.
But if excuse me, the mutual thing getting done, I don't know. And
I'm under the impression my impression is, this just me, like you say, this is how I view it. If we together, and you know what I got, because I'm telling you, I'm showing it to you, is whatever. But at the same time, you got 7 different accounts and you're not showing me nothing. You're not all you keep telling me is I ain't got it, but you got it. Then I feel like that's kind of like, that's shady to me.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's some shady shit to me.
If you got 7 different accounts and everything getting taken care of and they can care less, it just care less. Mm-hmm. But you got 7 and you ain't got it, of course they're gonna cause problems. Mm-hmm. But especially you saying that was y'all agreed to do this. But if you sitting there saying, I got everything, don't you worry about it. How much disclosure do you want? I'm not saying,
Oh.
well, but that's what I'm saying. It's each his own.
Right.
It's each his own. So I can't really say.
You can't be on an aspect to think that a person, just because you tell them your financial situation and a relationship that you building stuff together, that they gonna ask you or they gonna want. I mean, my thing is we here, we doing it together. It shouldn't be no secrets as far as I'm concerned. But I'm like I said, I'm learning.
Well,
I'm like,
think
because
about
when I in my previous marriage, there was no secrets. You do what you see what I bring in.
but that's how
You
y'all
see
function.
that's how I function.
Yeah. Look, you said this. Say if you making $1 million a year, she making $1 million a year, and y'all just take care of whatever. Hey man, cool. You might be worrying about other shit, man. You take care of this. Not financial stuff.
Mhm.
Did you go to the doctor? Did you call such and such and
Right.
all to make sure the kids gonna be in town? Money, if money is there, you might have a concern for it.
Right.
I think sometimes if things aren't getting taken care of, that's become an issue. So I don't. I really don't know. I really don't know. That's why I say it's a relative question. Okay. Nobody asking the questions. Well, I'm gonna end one thing, man. I remember this time last year, me and my partner was at uh, shit, not Spun Divots on what's the other place on Virginia Avenue? Uh, uh, God, um, damn, what's the not what's that is? It's dang, it's not Barnacles. It's I forgot the place over there on Virginia Avenue, the bar with the beach, and we were watching
Was it what they call it?
uh not Spun Divots.
Was it
There's the other
Crab Shack?
no no. If I hear it, I hear it. Slick gonna help me out, but it's right on Virginia Avenue, not Spun Divots, but the other bar over there where everybody goes to. But long story short, this time last year, the Braves were playing the Dodgers, and they were up 4 games, 3 games. I'm sorry. And I told my partner, I said, man, they had just lost the first game, and I said, there's no way in the hell that the EMF's gonna lose 4 games,
Right.
and did it. And to my disdain, the Braves lost 4 straight games,
Okay.
and the Dodgers went on to win. That was the National League champion. Dodgers went on to win the World Series. And I just remember last year, them young boys with them big old chains, they going around the bases, doing. They had so much youthful energy, but they also had youthful ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And to see them same guys come back with that experience, because when they lost, it was you can look kind of like when Kansas City had lost that one time. They didn't go the year before they went to Super Bowl. Like they wasn't hurt, they lost, but they were like, all right, we know what we need to do. And to see them guys come back the next year and win it, man, hats off to the Braves. Hats off, because if you know baseball, the Astros was a much better team. A much better team, on paper.
Right.
But when you focus and you want it, can't nobody stop you. Yeah, I mean, Astros came out averaging 6 damn runs a game in the playoff. I mean, astronomical numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to shut them guys down and win, man, that's a lot. That was huge, man. So big shout out to the Atlanta Braves, man. I know my granddad, we used to sit here because when you're a native Atlanta, you remember Atlanta, Fulton County State, and black folks, we didn't go see the Falcons or the Braves because, most of the white folks didn't really like you going down to Fulton County Stadium, watching them,
right.
And everything. And I remember being a kid, me and Michael Marvin, I went to go see Tom Glavine pitch his first game when he was a rookie with the Braves, man. And like that just was, black folks didn't go to Falcon games or Brave games. We just watched them on TV at home. So this shit is totally different.
Right.
Especially native Atlantans know that. But just to see what them guys did, man, 20 years from the last one, man, and they truly earned it. Like I said, they beat a better opponent.
Right.
And just shout out to the Braves, man. Shout out to the Braves. Y'all know I'm a homer. I love my ATL. I'm a diehard Falcon, diehard Brave, diehard Hawks. Too bad my high school closed, but I'm a diehard Trojan. But shout out to everybody. We're gonna be at JR Crickets on Cascade SEC Championship. I think that's December 6th. Have your ass up there. We're gonna be up there, the Harper High Trojans.
Yeah.
I don't care if you went to Doug, Mays, Washington. You're welcome. Party with the players.
That's right.
Come, we're gonna be at JR Crickets on Cascade. Just announcing that now. So if you didn't know, we're gonna be up there. SEC championship. Go see them Georgia Bulldogs. You know, this is our year to win the national championship this year.
Right.
So man, life is great, man. Life is good, man. So I just want to tell everybody again, you know, thanks for all the love and support. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the success I've had so far this year. And it's a tribute to you guys. And I know a lot of the tribute to yours truly. I put in work.
That's right.
But you know, my family had Misfits Media, Lab, 316, Slit 316, and everybody else on the team and all my family and friends. Man, I was in the abyss this time last year. To see what we doing now, shit, we just partying.
That's right.
We just party,
That's
man.
right.
So whatever you decide to do with your finance and relationships, just enjoy yourself, enjoy the other person. Because you never know when the rug gonna get pulled out on your ass, okay? I enjoyed tonight's show. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Love you guys. Be safe out there. And make sure you subscribe to both for the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, and also Change the Live. No matter what platform, make sure you go to the YouTube channels and subscribe. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. Be safe, and talk to you soon.